Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Zone, episode 153. My name is Anthony Pagniello, here with Chris Martelli, Giancarlo Aulino. Boys, we are back to the fantasy list. This time, we're going to the NBA. We got hockey out of the way, about a week into the NBA season. This time around, though, we're not going to be doing every individual position because that's a fucking nightmare. Everyone plays at least three. So this time, we're just going to be doing our guards list, top 15. I'm going to kick this off as usual. Honorable mentions. Some solid fucking names here. I got Fred VanVleet just missing it. Klay Thompson, Anthony Edwards, Cj McCollum. The list goes on. Very tough. But to kick it off here, number 15, I got Morant. Guy's an absolute killer. Crazy bounce, super competitive. Just plays all over the court. I expect him to get like 20 points per game this year, something like that. Solid number of assists. Him and Jaren Jackson are back together. He had some solid chemistry with him in his rookie year, so he's probably pretty excited about that. So he could be higher, but man, so many solid young guards in the league. I got Morant at number 15.
Yeah, this was a really hard list to do. One of the harder lists that I've actually had to do. My honorable mentions are the second-year superstar, Anthony Edwards. I think he's I want to say in a year he's easily on the list. I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just missing it. I think it might be a little bit harsh to not have him in the top 15 just based on how many shots he's probably going to take, but I don't know. I don't really see him getting around like 24, 25. I'll say maybe like 20, 21. Nothing really more than that. I got as well Fred VanVleet. I think, like, again, in fantasy, he's ranked a lot higher than I expected, but I still think he'll get you 19-5 or like 19-4 and 6, something like that. And the other honorable mention, very, very hard to keep off the list, was Jrue Holiday. But my number 15 is CJ McCollum. I think with Portland, you really don't know what to expect from Lillard and McCollum. I mean, in terms of points per game, there was a year there where CJ would go from 18 to 22 to 20 to 19 to 23. So it's around 18 to 23 points per game. He's been one of the more consistent guys the last 10 years. Actually, I think he's only been in the league for 9. So sorry about that. But I want to say ever since he broke out, he's been one of the more consistent guards. So for that reason, I got CJ McCollum at 15.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I agree with the CJ McCollum pick, like 15 and honorable mention. I have him in my honorable mentions. I have a lot of guys that we'll probably see in the next couple of years make their way into the 15 and even top 10. I would go as far like Edwards. I think he'll eventually be a guy that everyone talks about. For the Toronto Raptors, I got Fred VanVleet as an honorable mention. I got Goran Dragic as an honorable mention. I got Malachi Flynn as an honorable mention. I think it could really be a toss-up. I think Flynn, if he's in the right situation, he can low-key have a good breakout year if they play him more and just find his opponents and his matchups. I think Goran Dragic is playing to get traded after at the deadline, make a run at a contender. So he's a guy to look at. And obviously McCollum. So kicking off my 15, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, good Canadian kid. I really love the progression he's making. I think he's going to be a superstar. He still has a long way to go, and he's still this good. So credit to him for being that pivotal role, playing that pivotal role, and it's my number 15.
We're putting Flynn in the fucking thumbnail. That guy's a beauty. But number 14, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This was a gift of a building block from the Clippers. It's fucking hilarious. Just such a finesse point guard. He's given them 2 solid years, given last year was only like 40 games or so for him. But yeah, I expect him to just keep pace. I don't think he'll average 24 again, but like you said, Chris, 21, 22, something like that. Just keep building over there in OKC. So I got Shai Gilgeous at 14.
Yeah, I got Chris Paul at 14. I think a lot of people don't even have him in the top 20, which I think is still kind of harsh. Yeah, he's 35, 36, but he'll get you still about 17 points, but he fills it up, man. He's always top 5 in steals. He'll get you like 9.4 assists. A lot of people that I've actually had the privilege to do basketball pools with, not including you guys, have said that they believe that this is the year where Chris Paul completely falls off. And I hope for the Suns' sake that is not going to happen because they just gave him that huge contract extension. But I do think when you think of consistency out of any other guard in the whole league in history, I think Chris Paul is among the elite. So it might be a little harsh to have him 14. I'm not going to lie. I have a soft spot for him, but he is here at 14, Chris Paul.
My number 14 is another Canadian, Jamal Murray. I think when he starts getting going, we saw what he did in that bubble exactly a year ago. So there's no reason why he can't come back from his injury and replicate that performance during a full season. In Denver, I think they got the pieces there. I think like Aaron Gordon in that group, it's going to take some time for them to gel, but Jamal Murray going to be leading the way eventually with the shots, and he kind of draws a lot of fouls there too, so it helps that you have a big man and a shooting guard doing that. So got Jamal Murray number 14.
Number 13, I got Lamella Ball. Yeah, just controls the entire game, everything you want in a point guard, really. I anticipate he'll do his stats will be similar, those triple-double type numbers. I think he'll get a little more than 15, but yeah, I love watching him play. He changes the entire game. I wanted to put him higher originally, but yeah, just very tough list. I anticipate the next few years, though, he'll be that guy in the top 5, 6. So for now, I have Lamella Ball at 13.
Yeah, similar to Pagniello, I have another young guard at 13, John Morant. I think if you ask Pagniello, I'm really biased with John Morant. I put him over a lot of other guys that I would take, but when you look at fantasy, this is the breakout. I have a feeling. I think he's going to get around 23, 24 this year. I think what we've seen so far, first 4 games, I have him in fantasy. He's just been a complete monster. I think right out the gate, he's averaging 27, 6, and 8. So if he can continue to do that, be as athletically gifted as he is, and continue to improve his playmaking, I mean, there's a lot brighter days in Memphis. I know that they haven't been that good for quite some time, but you have your building blocks in John Morant, Jaren Jackson coming back from injury. You have some good pieces in Clark and in a couple other guys, but I think this is a year where John Morant takes a huge step forward offensively, and he shows us how scary he really is. So I have him here at 13.
Yeah, my number 13 pick, Lonzo Ball, Big Baller Bland, is showing up there, doing it for the brand, doing it for LeVar. He's showing that he's not a bust in this league. I like the way that he comes into Chicago and immediately is a playmaker that they desperately needed. He's actually shooting threes now, so all those people in LA saying he had no three-point shot, he finally developed one. Took some time, and I think he's going to be a stud over there on the Bulls and a big role on that team. He's going to be a big part of turning that around. They had Zach Levine there all those years, and they did fuck all. No management, no coaching. They finally turned that around now. They surround him with good players, and I think the Bulls are on the rise, and Lonzo is going to play a big part of that.
I love it. Number 12, I got Jalen Brown. This guy loves one of my favorite players in the league. Him and Tatum, they'll just continue to lead the way over there. I expect him to do the same this year, around 24, 25 points, 7, 8 boards. It really is a toss-up. We're splitting hairs at this point, but yeah, I got him at number 12.
Yeah, I got LaMelo Ball at 12. I think LaMelo Ball, though, if he makes me eat my words, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a first-rounder next year. Just like you were saying, Pagniello, he's a triple-double potential type of guard, and he's just such an exciting talent. I think looking back at the draft, I know Wiseman and Edwards they're supposed to be superstars, but this guy is already must-see, electric. He just give him the MVPs already. Like, it's his team. He's turning Miles Bridges into a great player too. It's basically Lob City there in Charlotte with freaking LaMelo and Bridges. I love those two together. He's that type of guard that just makes everybody better. He makes PJ Washington better. He made Terry Rozier better last year. He's just a great guard. And Aulino, I know you have him a lot higher on the list, but for now, I have him at 12. But I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, season's end. If you're in an 8-man pool, he's a top 8 type of guy.
Yeah, my number 12, another veteran in this list, the first veteran here is Chris Paul. A lot of people would have had him a few years ago in the top 5 if you're just doing point guards easily. What he was doing on the Rockets and even before that on the Clippers, and then he goes to OKC, makes the best of a bad situation, and I think he's still capable of being a top guard. I just think at his age, he should really manage the load a little better. But he's still going to be a guy that puts up a stat in every category, so have him at this spot.
Number 11, I got De'Aaron Fox. Settled into a nice little role in Sacramento. It's going into his 5th year now. He's coming off a 25-point year. There's no reason why I don't think he'll do it again. Like, it's basically his team over there. He runs the show. He gets 7 assists every year, a steal and a half a game. Man, I feel like if once he gets his shot together, he's going to be one of the scariest fucking players in the league. So, yeah, unreal point guard. I got him at De'Aaron Fox at 11.
Eat my words. I remember last year I said straight up, this guy's not going to average over 21 on that team. This guy averages 25. So he made me eat my words for sure. Like you mentioned, 1.5 steals, 7 assists. That's among the elite when you think of point guards, at least the top 7 for sure. And make no mistake about it, if Sacramento was a little bit better, this guy is easily an all-star every single year. I know the point guard position in the West is almost impossible to make the all-star game with Curry and Harden, or not Harden, Curry and Dame, and especially Doncic. But I mean, De'Aaron Fox, if there's one guy that absolutely deserves it in the circumstance he's in, it's him. They just drafted Davion Mitchell. A lot of people would be worried but again, like you mentioned, Pagniello, it's De'Aaron Fox's team. This is the guy that runs every situation. Everyone else's points per game would probably dip. Like Davion Mitchell's probably going to average about 13, 14 in his first year, but I do expect a huge jump next year. Buddy Hield's probably moving on. So I got De'Aaron Fox having another incredible season.
Yeah, I got De'Aaron Fox outside of my list just because of that. Like, I still think that his team isn't doing him really any justice. I think if he had another really elite player that was committed to Sacramento and not like Buddy Hield who just wants to get the hell out of there, I think he'd be a lot better, especially for the team. But I like what you guys said about him. I agree, but I just have him outside my list. And my spot here, I'm going to go with Jalen Brown of the Celtics because he's actually doing it. Him and Tatum are committed to the team. They're every year getting better. I think he's going to be among the top shooting guards in the league if he's not already. And in an Eastern Conference where you're playing against KD, Harden, and all those other guys, you need a guy like this on your team. So I got Brown at this spot.
Aulino, the thing with De'Aaron Fox, do you think it's because of, in your eyes, do you think it's just because of exposure? He doesn't get enough exposure in with viewers? Because, like, I mean, this guy, I was kind of thinking the same, like, last year where I'm like, you know what? Like, he's putting up decent numbers. I really don't know what he's doing because Sacramento has never been, like, a top 12 team in the Western Conference. So, like, I guess in that state, maybe that's why you think like that. But, I mean, dude, this guy can straight up ball. Like, if he was on any other team, even the Knicks, like 3 years ago, when he's putting up the numbers, he would be a lot more recognized and a lot more, known. But again, in Sacramento, man, the whole black cloud in Sacramento, like they haven't made the playoffs in forever. These young blue chip guys that they keep getting are dipping. So I don't know, man. Like I do think De'Aaron Fox is a top 15 guard for sure in the league. But let's just keep going with this list. I think Sacramento is to blame for this.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a good comparable. Like Charlotte's another one. They're a small market, but look at all the exposure LaMelo gets, and De'Aaron Fox came up the same way. Like him and Lonzo going at it. So I just think it's a market there. I don't think they're really helping him out. But if he was on another team, maybe he'd be in this even a top 10. But his team just sucks.
Fuck, it's not fun over there. But yeah, hey, kicking off the top 10, we got Devin Booker, averaging 25, 26 pretty much every year, other than his rookie year. He's been leading the way in Phoenix. Very consistent scorer. Him and Paul, I'm with you guys on Paul. I had him as an honorable mention, but like I still don't think anything changes. He'll be that same guy. I just think some of the younger guys might push him out this year. So for the Phoenix Suns, I don't think anything will change. Devin Booker is one of the best straight scorers in the league, so I got him at number 10.
Number 10, I got Donovan Mitchell. This was hard to put him number 10. I think this guy in a perfect season, let's say Gobert's numbers start to kind of go down. We know his role has always been defensively, but he's always still managed to put up about 15 points a game. Let's say Gobert's numbers drop to like 11. Like, let's say he does 11 and 16 or something like that. I wouldn't be – I think I said this to you, Pagniello, like a month ago. I wouldn't be surprised if Mitchell led the league in points. So having him here at number 10 is like, it's very questionable. I'm still kind of looking at the list and I'm kind of shaking my head, but the guys in front of him, I just think are going to have better years. But you took him in your second round. Donovan Mitchell, he's a hell of a baller. He's only, I think ever since coming into the league, straight up, first year he averaged 20. So he's had the keys since day one. It's not changing anytime soon. Gobert and Mitchell have put their differences aside, and they're back to having that team chemistry. So sky's the limit for Mitchell, but for now I have him at 10.
Yeah, kicking off my number 10, the man right there on the right corner of the screen, Lamella Ball, the second member of the Big Baller brand in this top 15. And as you guys mentioned, like guys that make the team better, you insert LaMelo into the Hornets lineup and they immediately turn into a team that can contend for a playoff spot. He kind of changed Gordon Hayward's direction of his career. Looked like a guy on the downward. Looked like he was going to decline hard. And all of a sudden he plays with LaMelo and he's found his 3-point range again. He's playing well. So let's not forget who's making some guys players in this league. That's LaMelo Ball, and he's going to continue doing that going forward.
Number 9, Zach Levine. He's got some help now, like you said with Lonzo, your boy. But yeah, one of the more electric scorers in the league. Like with Vooch and DeMar going there, it's definitely going to help. I don't think it's going to be it's going to take a big chunk out of his point scoring. I still think he'll get around the same with like 5 boards and 5 assists. He'll probably have the most 50-point games this season. He's just one of those. He's one of those guys. So you got to love Zach Levine's game. I thought I'd have him a little higher as well, but I have him at number 9.
Here comes the first hot take. Number 8, Russell Westbrook. I had him last year, guys. He was golden. He was absolutely incredible. Triple-double on the Washington Wizards. He made their team a whole lot better last year. Remember, they were in dead last. At one point, we were all laughing at them on the pod. And then, bam, I think they went on a 13-game winning streak. But this is the year where Russell Westbrook's numbers, I think, are going to not drastically go down, but just with what I've been seeing with AD and LeBron and Carmelo and all these scorers on the team, I think Westbrook is going to average a solid 20, like 21 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that. But the turnovers is what absolutely kills his value. He'll give you like 8 turnovers a game almost. It's ridiculous. So that's why I got Russ at number 8. If it wasn't for turnovers, and his free throws have just plummeted. So I'm being a little harsh here. I don't know if you guys have him at 8 or higher, but I got Russ at number 8, and he's probably not going up from here on out.
Yeah, my next pick here, Zach LaVine of the Bulls. It's about time that he gets some help.
He made the top 10. Let's go.
He did, and I think it's a credit to his teammates. Vucevic coming in helps things along. I think that was a steal looking at that trade now. DeMar coming in is huge because he's a guy that gets a lot of mid-range shots, goes to the free throw line a lot, gets a lot of attention from the other team, and he's improved as an assist guy, so he can play make a little bit. And Lonzo coming in, he finally has a point guard, so Levine's going to benefit the most out of all of this, everyone in this list, and that's why I got him in this spot.
At number 8, I got Donovan Mitchell. I think he's going to, do what he usually does. Just south of 30, elite scorer, clearly the front runner in Utah. I think as hard as this list was, 8, 9, and 10 for me, I took fucking forever on. But I think Mitchell's going to outscore Levine and Booker by a bit. So very tough. But yeah, I love Donovan Mitchell. Kind of reached for him in the second round, but got him at number 8.
Sorry, guys, I goofed. I said number 8, but I meant number 9 for Westbrook. Number 8, sorry. I got – sorry, boys. Number 8, I got Devin Booker. This guy's going to average 26 points. Every single year he will average more than 23. Even with Ayton, even with Paul, he still gives you about like 17 to 22 shots a game. When he's on, he's Kobe-like, honestly. Like he's one of the scarier guys in the league when he's on. I remember earlier, I think it was 6 days ago when they faced the Lakers, he was the best player on the floor, and all the big three I think were playing too. So when Devin Booker is on his game, he is almost virtually unstoppable. So I have him at number 8 here. If his rebounds and his assists go up, man, he could be a top 3 type of guy. But for now, I got him at number 8.
My number 8, Donovan Mitchell. Basically what you guys said already. Mitchell, just Utah didn't really have anything going for them. Him and Gobert are 2 all-stars now that carried them and turned them into a playoff team, first place team even. So they kind of goofed it last year in the playoffs, but maybe they can turn it around, get back there. Conley's still a good player. So as long as he's still performing as he gets older, Donovan Mitchell, I think, will still be in this list, getting all the looks at three-pointers, and he's a guy that he's going to be good. Even if he gets traded, he's still going to be a guy that's a primary goal scorer in this league, so he's number 8.
Number 7, I got Trae Young. This guy, right away, 25 to 30 points. He gets 9 assists 3 years in a row. To me, that's fucking insane. In Atlanta, him and Collins, they're just so much fun to watch together. I don't see why anything would change. Just so many young elite guards in this league that are just sticking to their pace with their team. So I think Trae could get around 30 or possibly win the assist title. He's just that type of dynamic player. So I got him at number 7.
Number 7, again, this was really hard. I got Bradley Beal. Holy crap. Between Beal and Levine, it's a coin flip. And I had to favor Levine this year just based off of, like you mentioned, Aulino and Pagniello, who he's playing with, how he can score from basically anywhere on the floor. He's gotten better tremendously every single year since going to Chicago. I think the first year he averaged 17, and last year he went all the way up to 28. So I know he's probably not going to average 28 consistently. That's really, really high. But I do expect 24 to 25. I expect about 5 rebounds, 5 boards. He'll get you almost, I don't want to say a 50, 40, 90, but I want to say he'll get you about 45% from the field. And I say about around 39, 40 from 3. So all in all, this guy is one of the more complete offensive guys in the game. His team is incredible. But again, talking about Bradley Beal at 7, he's averaged 30 in back-to-back years, but his usage rate was just at a completely different level. And he had Russell Westbrook last year, and Russ was just completely on his A game. Bradley Beal so far to start hasn't looked as good as maybe we expect. I mean, we can't be expecting 30 every year from a guy that plays on Washington. I think that's a little bit, it's a little bit much, but I still think Bradley Beal is easily a top 10 guard in the league, and we had him, I think, 3rd on the shooting guard list last year or 2nd. So having him at 7 might be a little harsh, might be a little questionable, but I'm sticking with it. I have him at 7.
Yeah, I got Bradley Beal also at 7. Everything you said, just Washington is kind of rebuilding, I guess we can say, but with Westbrook last year, he carried them to a playoff spot at the end, him and Beal, and now Westbrook's gone. John Wall's gone. So this really is Bradley Beal playing his heart out for a team that's rebuilding and going in a different direction. He's just along for the ride. So it's going to come down to him. If he wants to leave, I'm sure they'll trade him. If not, he's going to have to deal with it for the next couple of years. But I still think he is an all-star. Just it's going to be hard now if your team's struggling.
All right, at number 6, I got Russell Westbrook. He's getting a little older now, 33 years old, but for me, he still plays the same way. He's still always at 100%, plays fucking downhill. Team's usually irrelevant, so are the players. You know who he is. He's still a triple-double threat. I think his points per game is going to drop a little bit this year. I don't know how much he's going to play with the other guys. I don't think anyone does yet, but yeah, he's going to have those nights where he looks absolutely fucking crazy. And yeah, so I'm pretty much with you, Chris, everything you just said. I think you had him at 10, though. Like, this might be the last time I have him this high. So still unreal. Russell Westbrook at number 6.
Yeah, the other thing with Russ, too, is like when he's on, he's easily maybe even top 3. But when he's off, he's not even top 25. So like there's no in between with him. He's either really off, really sour, brings the team down, or he's just a flat out monster, crate leader. Like there's no in between with him. So I thought having him at number 9 was pretty reasonable. But yeah, having him at 6, again, like you mentioned, a triple-double threat. As long as LeBron and AD are not playing, he probably will get a triple-double. So I want to say he'll probably play, I want to guess like 23 games without Davis and LeBron, and that's probably being like a little generous there, probably more than that. But if it's 23 games, he will get a triple-double in 23 of the 82 games for sure. So having him at number 6 is pretty good, but like I mentioned before, I got Levine at 6. Pagniello, I don't know if you might think it's a little high, but I mean, this guy's a superstar. He's been a superstar for 2 years now, and it's looking like they won that deal, didn't they? All those years ago with Jimmy Butler. So I mean, wow, we always talk about the Paul George and Gilgeous-Alexander trade, but you're going to look back at the Jimmy Butler-Levine trade, and if he stays long-term, Levine, and like nothing goes bad and the skies are blue and they're a top 3 seed in the East, then wow, what a trade that was. And even to this day, averaging 28. The last person to do that was Michael Jordan in a Bulls jersey. So that stat alone, that's going to jump the list for me. I got Zach LaVine at number 6. 28 is out of the question, but 25 is a guarantee.
Oh, man. That's big, and that's a bold one. Number 6, I'm going to go Trae Young. That man had an eventful summer. He silenced the Madison Square Garden crowd, beat up Rey Mysterio, and looking to pick up where he left off on the court. I think in a few years he'll be what Steph Curry is for Golden State. He's on his way to being that. I just think sometimes consistency with Atlanta, they're all young players, so it's going to bite them back. But as they continue to get more reps, more games under their belt, I think they're eventually going to be even more of a powerhouse in the East.
Oh, my God. Forgot he was on SmackDown. Holy shit. Alrighty. Number 5, Damien Lillard. Yeah, man. 29 points per game last year. Assists have been going up the last 2 years. Just does everything for Portland. Mr. No Days Off. You could have him at 3, you could have him at 5, 6. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. This guy's a premier player in the league, so you got to love Damian Lillard. I got him at 5.
Yeah, number 5, I got Trae Young. I got Ice Trae. He's just absolutely a monster. And his whole vibe, he is just such – when he gets on your bad side, he's such an asshole, and I love it. He smiles. He does the little the you know, like what the I'm cold taunt. Like, it's just – I love when Trae Young's on his game, which is always – he's never off his game. He's going to average about 27 5 and like 10. Like he's just a monster. His assists are actually better than Curry's since coming in the league. He's averaged more. The 3-point shot is relatively right there with Curry. I want to say like 41% is realistic every single year. He's not as great of a all-around player and like I think as impactful as Steph Curry right now, but you guys mentioned it perfectly. I want to say maybe in a year's time he'll be Steph Curry. We don't know. He had his first playoff run and he went to the conference finals. I mean, sky's the limit for Trae Young. I think this guy could eventually he could probably jump both Curry and Dame in like 2-3 years once they start to kind of decline. And when that happens, it's going to be absolutely astronomical. But man, Trae Young, he's got it nice there in Atlanta. And Atlanta fans, you guys have a gem there. Ice Trae is number 5.
Yeah, my number 5 is Damien Lillard. Once again, he cracks this list in the top 5. Everything Pagniello said, just how important he is to Portland, their success. It's all going to come down to how well Damian Lillard's playing. Kind of changed Melo around last year or 2 years ago when he joined them. Rejuvenated his career playing with a guy like Lillard and McCollum. So this core that they have, I know if they had Aldridge in his prime, if he never left for the Spurs, it could have been like one of those what-if big threes, but they still went along and developed, and Lillard, is hard to argue that he's a top guard in this league.
All right, at number 4, I got Bradley Beal. You guys can go fuck yourselves. Boom. Average 30, back-to-back years. I got to give it to him. The team is so ass. They are all kinds of ass, especially 2 years ago. First year he averaged 30, and then Russ came over. And that was a little fun. They went on a nice little run there. But I honestly don't think anything's going to be different. He's in the prime of his career. I think he's a threat to average 30 again. Him and Dinwiddie could build some nice chemistry. Like even if it, like he wasn't there and they had left him what they had, I think he would average around the same. It's his team. A lot of the same situations where it's his team. He's going to do this. So love Bradley Beal. Got him at number 4.
Yeah, the thing is with Beal too, I don't see him averaging 3 years in a row at 30 points a game. Like I can't. That's just, you can't do that. Only Harden and MJ have basically done that, I think. And like if Beal were to do that, that puts him like, yeah, in a completely different category, in a different stratosphere. So, I mean, if he gets 30, then yeah, he's easily a top 5. But I mean, if you do it again in Washington and the state that they're in with Kuzma there and Harrell and basically the Lakers, like the misfit Lakers, and then you have Dinwiddie who's coming off a pretty scary injury. If he can get 30, holy shit, that is absolutely incredible. But my number 4 is Damian Lillard. Lillard will get you 28 to 30. I said earlier, you don't really know with McCollum Lillard, like if everything goes squeaky smooth, like 23 for McCollum and 30 for Lillard. If everything goes perfect, I still think they're both easily going to get 20. That's a no-brainer. But what Lillard brings to this team is just clutchness. He's just a scary point guard. You don't want to guard him, especially late in games. I feel like as the games get later, he just gets better. And there's not a lot of guys that have that ability in this league, straight up. I mean, I've seen so many buzzer beaters where it's Dame taking the shot. So I got Dame at number 4. And, man, I really hope that I know this league is so, so talented, but, man, I just want this guy to, 1, get a chip, and 2, get an MVP at some point. He definitely deserves it. I know it's really tough to get, but damn it, I need to see it happen. But Damian Lillard, I got him at number 4, and I think he's staying in Portland.
Speaking of guys who deserve a championship, my number 4, James Harden. I guess we can all agree, deserves one. All the seasons he's put up in Houston. Now he's on Brooklyn, no Kyrie Irving, so he's going to be running the ship over there with KD. They're going to probably run the same kind of plays that Houston did with him and Chris Paul and him and Westbrook. So expect a lot of threes from him. And he's going to benefit there with KD passing him the ball, mooching off some assists. So James Harden, number 4.
Yeah, number 3, James Harden. Yeah, with no Kyrie being there, that it definitely helps. I think he'd still be here anyways, but fuck. Even when he's off his game, he's a triple-double threat. He may lead the league in assists for like the fucking 3rd time. Chris, he brought it up. He's had those years where 3 straight 30-point years. He's got that in him. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, if you had him number 1, I wouldn't even argue it. He's that type of guy. So you gotta love James Harden.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring up like my final 3 is like 1A, 1B, 1C. It just depends on like what type of league you're in. Number 3, I got James Harden. This guy's gonna get, again, what we saw last year in the playoffs. His points plummeted a lot. He went from like 30 to 20, but he's gonna get you. His assists went from like 8 to 11. So his playmaking has gotten a lot better. We all know the situation with Kyrie. He's not going to be there. I don't know if it's for the whole year. I don't know if it's for just the home games. I'm not really sure, but I know the Nets are keen on not playing him for now as long as he's not vaccinated. But Harden's going to shine, like you said, regardless. Even if he was there, he's still higher than Kyrie on any fantasy list. And one of the best guards of all time, James Harden, number 3.
Yeah, my number 3, Russell Westbrook, triple-double machine over there on the Lakers, and there's going to be a lot of talk of his points going down, but one thing that's not going to go down, he's going to be controlling the ball, so he's going to be getting a lot of assists. Those guys on the team, they're going to be saying, yeah, we'll run this play. No. He's going to give you the ball when he feels like it. He dictates whether you're getting the ball or not. Whenever he decides that he wants to get 10 assists to make up for the triple-double, that's when he'll throw past Dwight Howard and AD and whoever's in the paint. He'll jump and out-rebound them. He'll probably fight with his teammates at times this year. So it's all fun in LA. And I got Russell Westbrook at number 3.
At number 2, I got Steph Curry. Fucking guy. He may very well win the scoring title again. At like, I don't even know how old he is, but as he gets older, like, he just gets better with age. Like, his conditioning, everything about him, like, he's just ageless. So I could see Steph being one of those guys where his last year in the league, he still averages like 23 points. He's still on his game. You can have him 1 or 2. What you said about the top 3, like, it's really just preference. I have him at 2. Nothing's going to change with Steph.
Yeah, number 2, I got Luca Doncic. There it is. He's going to get you 26, 9, and 10. And then, like, he'll get a whole bunch of great stats. The thing with Luca Doncic is his team is ass. The Mavericks suck. They're so bad. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't want to. You know what? I'm going to shut my mouth. I don't want to be going on a rant, but yeah, I feel bad for Luca. Like, a year ago, I had him winning the MVP, slated to win it, and I thought the Mavs would be a contender. Man, was I wrong about them being contenders. But Luca Doncic, time and time again, since coming in the league, I remember the first year, he averaged what? It was like 21, 7, and 8. Who does that? Coming in the league and dominating like that. He's been compared to Magic Johnson. That's how great he is. But yeah, like I mentioned with Beal and like I mentioned with a couple other guys on the list, if your team is not that good, I don't value you more than a guy that's on a really great team and he's the main guy. So I said it, 1A, 1B, 1C. That's Harden, Curry, and Doncic. But I got Doncic at number 2 just because Golden State is the way better team going into the year.
Yeah, this was debatable. I was thinking of both in the top spot, going back and forth, but I'm going to lean more towards Steph Curry at number 2 here. He's the guy that continues to just put up crazy numbers, challenges himself. We saw even with Clay out, he stepped up and really pushed that team to the playoffs. So he earned a lot of people's respect, including Michael Jordan, who finally admitted that he's a Hall of Famer. And yeah, so,
took him long enough.
Like Curry, when you look at his career, it's crazy to think like he was so injury prone early on. And I was telling you guys before, like there was all these articles I was looking at, like people saying, is he worth an extension at $9 million a year? Like now he's making $200 when the contract's over. So this is a guy that really turned things around, took care of his body, and he's a Hall of Famer.
There it is. And then number one for me, it is Luca Doncic. Yeah, this guy's a fucking freak. He might average 30 points and double-digit rebounds and assists. Everything you want in a point guard, the perfect build, the IQ, just everything. The Dallas Mavericks are indeed ass. But you know what? It is because they are ass that I feel like this guy is not going to sit at the end of the year when you need him for your playoff run, because the Mavs are probably going to be fighting for the playoffs. So when guys like James Harden and Lillard and Westbrook are sitting, Doncic and Curry, they're probably going to be playing in the last month. So I love it.
Yeah, number one is Steph Curry. I think what I saw last year was just like, holy crap, this guy, he was injured 2 years ago for almost the whole year. This guy comes back, it's a whole new team, almost, and he just torches the league. I remember there was one game last year, I think he dropped 62, which was a career high at 32 years old. And this guy, I don't know what it is, guys. When I see Steph Curry on the floor, first of all, he doesn't stop moving, so he's one of the hardest guys to guard. He's so poised that there are some shots he shoots, he doesn't even look, and they go in. It's just, like, this guy, he's 33 years old. Like I think Steve Kerr has mentioned a couple times last year, the older he gets, just like LeBron, the smarter he gets. And you could really tell right now that Steph Curry is started to really take care of his body and his physique. Steve Kerr continuously was saying that this is the strongest Steph Curry we've ever seen. And it showed last year. I thought for the longest time it was between Jokic. Let's be honest here, guys. I know Giannis wasn't in the MVP talk last year, but we all had Curry. Who was it? It was Curry, Embiid, and Jokic for majority of the year. And, I mean, I don't see any different here. I think Steph Curry is going to, like you said, Pagniello, I think he's going to get 30. And I think he's just going to make this Golden State Warriors team go from out of the playoffs to now, I want to say, as high as a 4th seed in the Western Conference. That's how special Steph is. So if they finish above the Lakers, I also would not be surprised with Klay coming back in January.
Yeah, number one, Luca Doncic. Everything Pagniello said, I completely agree. Dallas is a horrible team, and Luca Doncic just proves how amazing he is, just to even will that team close to a playoff spot. And it'd be nice if he played with a superstar that wasn't an attraction throughout the year, where he'll play a certain amount of games, and you know the drill, IR. So Doncic, number one, just because of that.
Before we end the pod, I gotta ask this question because it's been brought up numerous times. Not with Doncic, just with a lot of you, because we all know. Again, I've always brought this up with you guys, how the league has just continuously been getting younger. Guys at a younger age are improving. When it comes to Luca Doncic, and this is what, year 4 now. When you look at, I want to say, let's say 2 years from now, they're in the same boat. They're like a 6 to 8 seed. They're getting knocked out the first, second round. Like, what do you think these analysts are going to say about Luka in terms of his career? Because I don't want this guy to be putting up these ridiculous numbers and just like never sniff like a ring, like not even come close to it. Or do you think he's going to be that type of guy where when all these veterans go, like LeBron, Curry, like when they start to slow down, that's when he's going to jump on the opportunity? What do you guys think? Do you think like he's going to be in limbo for like another 5-6 years, or do you think he's going to really get it together like in 2 years and win a chip?
Yo, I think both. Because really, when you think about, like, the argument's going to be because they're not fucking going anywhere, the team. So when he's not winning, it's going to be, oh, you can't get over the hump with Luka. You can't win with Luka. That's the argument with every superstar ever in any sport. So when you look at a lot of the teams that are winning now, it might take a few years for them to kind of die down. And then by the time those teams cool off, maybe the Mavericks are good by then, or maybe he's moved on. But for Luka, like, he's probably getting that talk now. Like, it's probably going to happen. It probably happened at the end of last year. It might happen at the end of this year. That is, maybe he just needs more, or maybe he's not good enough. But I think with every star player, you're going to get that on some level.
Yeah, I think it's like it helps that his ownership at least is invested. Where if there's more pressure and Doncic, like there's rumors that he wants to leave, that's when they'll probably be more aggressive and probably do what the Clippers did and trade a bunch of first rounders to get a superstar. So I don't think it will be something where you'll be in this situation forever. I just think it's going to take probably like a year or two before they actually say, okay, we got to keep this guy happy. Let's make a big trade.
It's funny, too, because he kind of reminds me of Lillard's tenure in Portland. When you look at, like, kind of how it's gone down, the first 6 to 7 years with Lillard in Portland, the expectations were not there to win a ring. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to put up 25 points per game. I'll get 4 unreal clutch shots, but the fan base is never going to harp on this guy. They're never going to, I think it was like 2-3 years ago when they went to the conference and they lost to Golden State. I think that was when they got swept. That was the year where the fans finally, I think that was like the 5th year they were in the postseason, where finally the fans were like, okay, Lillard, like you have to win something now. So I think that's what's going to happen with Luca. I know obviously they're probably having those talks now because Luca's been a freak since coming in the league, but I love it's actually hilarious because the 2 names that I'm going to say, Pagniello, I'm the biggest fans of them, Tatum and Doncic. I think their careers are so similar right now. It's not even funny. Like Boston finished 6th last year, Dallas, what were they, like 7th? And both these young guys, their expectations are so high, carry them to a title. We saw it in the first year. I can't believe I'm saying this. I remember that run like it was yesterday with the Celtics almost eliminating LeBron. But ever since then, the expectations have kind of cooled down with Tatum. The fan base, obviously in Boston, is retarded, but they've started to realize, okay, other than Brown, Smart, and Tatum, it's not really a winning team. So in terms of Luca Doncic, we said last offseason, Aulino, me and you, remember we predicted, we said Kawhi will probably go to Dallas if he knows what's best for him. But like you have Porzingis, you have Hardaway, Jalen Brunson never took that next step. There's just so much to, look at this team and say, Luka needs help. And I know there's always going to be those expectations of, oh my God, Luka, he didn't win another first round. Well, he's not going to be that winner. It's not that easy. Ask Damien Lillard. Ask James Harden. But it's getting to that point now where Luca Doncic is 23 years old, 22, 23. And here's another question for you guys. Like, do you think he's in the prime of his career right now?
For me, I'll say no, because his game's not really primed off athleticism. It's his smarts. Feet wet in the league. So he's only 4 years in, like you said. As he gets older, he's just going to get smarter and just continue to control the game like the boss that he is. So, his prime, I don't know, but I don't think it's anytime soon.
Yeah, I think he's still a couple of years away from that. I think he's 24?
Yeah, like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, probably 3 more years. And then similar to AD, like when he was on New Orleans, like once he got to like 26, that's when everyone started talking about him just coming into his prime. So right now it's good to have him there developing, but it'd be nice if he had superstars around him so you can have some long-term success.
Okay, we're going to finish the pod with this, which is absolutely hilarious, but who wins the chip first, Doncic or Tatum?
I'll go Tatum. I just think they're a little more well put together. The East is usually not as tough as the West. Just a running mate like Jalen Brown really helps. So it's tough. Yeah, man, that's really a tough one.
But the Mavs have Porzingis.
Tingus Pingus has to play at least half a year. It's getting ridiculous now.
Oh my God, it's jokes. Anything else you guys want to add?
I think I'm good.
All right, Aulino, take it away, buddy. This is your moment.
Yeah, that was another episode here. Another list. Next week, we'll have another one cooking. Hopefully, some more debate there on that list. I don't know. We might have some interesting ones if we get to the forwards and centers. Well, if we include the small forwards, power forwards, everyone in the league is a forward, so that might be interesting.
Aulino, I know for sure. I know Kawhi is still out, but I know he's going to be in your top 5.
Oh, for sure. Top 2. That's a spoiler. It's top 2. Because when he comes back, he's taking over again. Paul George just better pray to God they're in a playoff spot when that man comes back, or else there's going to be some hell to pay over there. So Paul George got to get that shit going on the Clippers. But
I'm not worried with George.
but that's another episode. We'll see you next week.